Alright guys, TBS back here again, and with Joan Garcia's official announcement, finally after weeks here, we're gonna talk about the 5 reasons why I believe this transfer is an amazing move from Barcelona. Let's get right into it. Number 1, why I think Joan Garcia will be an important player for Barcelona is his profile of player. Joan Garcia is a goalkeeper that stands at about 1.91 meters tall. It's about 6'3" for all you Americans out there. And why is this important? Because for a goalkeeper, it's generally accepted that the taller you are, the better you can be, the higher your potential is. And Barcelona is not necessarily a club that's had very tall goalkeepers throughout their entire history. If we take a look at some of the height differences between Joan Garcia and Szczesny, for example, Szczesny is one of our tallest ever goalkeepers. He stands at about 6'5". That's about 1.96 meters tall. And if you compare him to somebody like Ter Stegen is only about 6'2". It's about 1.87 meters tall. So you can see a huge difference there, which I think for a goalkeeper, it definitely matters. The reason I say it matters is because of reach, because of commanding your box. It's very important to have a tall goalkeeper to basically become a wall for defenders that they cannot see past. But his height does not necessarily mean that he is a bad ball distributor, bad ball playing goalkeeper. Because I think Joan Garcia, just a ball playing, he may not be Ederson, he may not be the best ball playing goalkeeper I've ever seen, but he's a very decent goalkeeper. Passing wise, he's among the best goalkeepers in terms of pass success rate, long balls in La Liga, and that's playing for a team like Espanyol, who is not necessarily renowned for his ball playing at the back system. So I expect him to not be an issue in terms of ball playing for Barcelona. So yeah, that's my number 1 reason why I think Joan Garcia will be a success at Barcelona. My number 2 reason, it relates to Ter Stegen a little bit, is the removal of all that negative aura that has haunted Barcelona for years now, especially in the Champions League, right? There is a hate and toxic environment around Ter Stegen from the Barca fan base that is impossible to thrive in. No matter what Ter Stegen does, right? Whether you believe he's the worst goalkeeper in the world ever, whether you believe he's underrated, whatever you may believe, the environment that Ter Stegen would have been in would have been unbearable for the team. It would have brought the team morale down. The fans would start hating. It would create such a toxic environment that I think signing such a goalkeeper after 10 years of not signing a starting goalkeeper, we've only signed backups since Ter Stegen arrived. We are finally changing that mood a little bit, changing the dressing room a little bit, changing the vibes a little bit. Barcelona finally has a Catalan goalkeeper again in terms of their goalpost. And I think that change of mood between the fan base and the team, I think it will be a net positive for Joan Garcia. It will motivate him. He will feel trusted by the fans. His mistakes will not be scrutinized that much, which I think would have happened for Ter Stegen. And I think a goalkeeper needs the fans' backing and trust in order to make as little mistakes as he can. Now, my number 3 reason is what I think of Joan Garcia as a player himself. Now, I don't know if Joan Garcia will become this next Thibaut Courtois, next best goalkeeper in the world. I don't know. But he has shown at Espanyol, he has 2 very important things, right? He has the talent. He's a guy that has stepped up in big games for Espanyol. Whether that is penalties, whether that is against Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico, etc. He steps up in big games. And that is something Barcelona needs desperately from their goalkeeper. It's something that Ter Stegen has suffered with for the past couple of years, I want to say. But you can go back even since he was signed. Ter Stegen has always been inconsistent. He would have 1 good season or 2 good seasons, and then he would have 2 bad seasons back to back. So we needed a goalkeeper that was consistently good and reliable in terms of our goal posts, and we finally got it with Joan Garcia. My number 4 reason is a trophy-related reason, right? What is the trophy that Barcelona fan base has been yearning to win forever now? It is the Champions League. That is the highest level of club football that you can reach. And we have not been at that level for years now. But what has been the one common factor amongst all the Champions League winning teams recently? It's been their goalkeeper. Whether that is Thibaut Courtois, Donnarumma, generally whoever wins the Champions League has a very good goalkeeper who steps up in the big moments for them. Ter Stegen, he has had great moments in the league throughout his career, right? But I cannot remember one single performance in over a decade at the club where he has performed in a Champions League knockout round. Never. Ter Stegen has never performed in the knockouts for Barcelona, and that is a no-no. Joan García, he may not do as well in the Champions League either. Who knows, right? But it's all about the likelihood. Who am I trusting more to perform in a big Champions League knockout game? Joan García or Ter Stegen? I'm not a madman. I'm not repeating the same mistake over and over and over again. At some point, you're gonna go, hey, let's try something new. And that is why I think Joan García will be a great sign for Barcelona again, because I think he will give something to Barcelona that they have not had for over a decade. Champions League performances. And last but not least is my number 5 reason. I think it's simply the price and how it's related to his age. Joan García is a 24 years old keeper. He's not in his prime yet, but he's getting up there. He has enough experience under his belt to not be called a youngster, but he can still grow much more, right? And the price for him is a lowly 25 million euros. When you consider some of the most expensive goalkeepers in history, you have guys like Kepa going for 80 million. Onana has cost around 50 million for Manchester United. Considering the price, age, and necessity for Barcelona, this signing cannot go wrong. Even if Joan García does not meet his potential, there's not much downside to this transfer. Barcelona can end up selling him, keeping him as a backup goalkeeper. His wages are not that high. It's around 3 million net for Joan García. That's pretty low for a goalkeeper. It's lower than half of Ter Stegen's wages. There is not much that can go wrong with this signing. That's why I think it will be a success regardless of his ability. And that concludes my top 5 reasons why I think Joan García will be a great signing for Barcelona. He will be a success. That is what I believe. I don't know how good of a success he'll be, but generally I do think he'll be a success. Guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like, comment, turn on that bell notification to never miss another video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.